Deep in the woods of Northern Virginia, there's a mansion known to locals only as the Darlington House. From the outside, it looks almost ordinary. Ivy-covered walls, tall glass windows, and an iron gate half swallowed by moss. But if you step inside, you'll never find your way out the same way again. Because this mansion, they say, changes its rooms. The story begins with a man named Edward Darlington, a wealthy and eccentric architect from the 1920s. Edward was obsessed with perfection. He didn't just design buildings. He created puzzles made of stone and wood, filled with impossible geometry, hidden passageways, and illusions that tricked the eye. His masterpiece and his ultimate obsession was his own home. The Darlington Mansion was rumored to be built entirely according to what Edward called sacred proportions, a system he claimed could bend space and time itself. But something went terribly wrong. In 1932, Edward Darlington vanished inside his own creation. His wife Margaret told police that he'd gone upstairs to his study after dinner and simply never came back down. When authorities arrived, they began a search that quickly turned into a nightmare. The layout of the house made no sense. Hallways looped back into the same room. Staircases ended abruptly in solid walls. Doors led to different places each time they were opened. After a week of fruitless searching, the authorities gave up and sealed the place off. Margaret moved away, and the Darlington house was left to rot, abandoned to the whispers of the woods. For decades, locals told stories. Some said they'd seen lights flickering in the windows when the house should have been dark. Others swore they'd heard footsteps echoing from empty corridors. But the strangest, most terrifying stories came from those who dared to trespass, mostly teenagers looking to prove their bravery. One such story comes from 1978. 3 college students, Jason, Linda, and Mark, broke into the mansion on a dare one night. They later said the heavy front door was unlocked, swinging open with a silent invitation. The moment they stepped in, the air turned heavy and still, like the walls themselves were holding their breath. They wandered through grand halls shrouded in dust and cobwebs, but what struck them most was the profound, unnatural silence. There were no crickets outside, no wind rustling the leaves, just the loud creak of the floorboards beneath their feet. Jason, an aspiring filmmaker, started filming everything on his old Super 8 camera. Some of that chilling footage still exists today. In it, you can hear Linda whisper, "Wait, didn't we just come through here?" They had entered what they thought was the main hallway, but every door they opened seemed to lead to a room they'd already seen, except the details kept changing. A chair would appear where there wasn't one before. A mirror would reflect someone missing from their group. And once, they found a staircase that simply shouldn't exist, leading up into darkness. Then, the camera cuts out abruptly. Mark was the only one found. He was discovered wandering the woods at dawn, barefoot, trembling, and unable to speak for 2 whole days. When he finally recovered his voice, he claimed something terrifying. The house rearranges itself when it knows you're inside, of course. No one believed him, but investigators who re-entered the mansion later that week swore that the official blueprints no longer matched the building's layout. Walls had shifted. Entire rooms were missing. Even the foundation seemed different from previous surveys. By the 1990s, the Darlington Mansion had become a full-blown legend, a dark icon whispered about in the early days of the internet. Ghost hunters and thrill-seekers from all over shared its story. This brings us to 2016, when a popular YouTuber named Alex Monroe decided to livestream his visit. He went in armed with 2 cameras, streaming his exploration to over 50,000 viewers watching live. In the beginning, the stream seemed normal. Alex was charismatic, joking with his audience as he explored the decaying beauty of the mansion. He even found an old faded portrait of Edward Darlington still hanging above a cracked fireplace. But around the 20-minute mark, something changed. The connection began to flicker. Viewers started noticing strange things in the background before Alex did, objects moving when no one was near them. A shadow passing a doorway, the lights flickering despite the power being off for decades. Then, Alex's voice dropped. "Wait, I was just in this room," he said, his confidence gone. He opened a door, expecting to find a new part of the house. Behind it was the same hallway he'd just left, except now, it was lined with dozens of identical doors. He opened another one, and another, and another. Each led to the exact same place. Panicked, he whispered into his camera, "There's someone behind me." And then, the stream cut to static. The next morning, police found Alex's car parked neatly outside the mansion's gates. All of his equipment was still inside the vehicle, but Alex himself, he was never found. After his disappearance, the mansion was sealed off again by the state, officially labeled a structurally unstable property. Yet people who live nearby claim the house is far from quiet. They still hear things coming from inside at night, footsteps, disembodied voices, and sometimes the faint, melancholic sound of piano music drifting through the trees. A few have even seen lights moving from window to window, like someone is walking through the dark halls with a lantern. But the most chilling detail of all came to light just recently. When historians analyzed the old architectural drawings of the Darlington house, they found a strange, cryptic note scribbled in Edward Darlington's own handwriting at the bottom of one page. It read, "Every room is a reflection of the last, until you reach the one that's real." To this day, no one knows what that means. Some believe Edward Darlington actually succeeded in creating a house that bends reality, a living structure that shifts and changes to trap those who enter. Others think it's just an elaborate hoax, a ghost story that grew more embellished over time. But one thing is certain, no one who has ever gone too far inside the Darlington mansion has come out the same way they went in. So if you ever find yourself walking in those Virginia woods and you see a flicker of light coming from a house that shouldn't be standing anymore, don't go closer, because the mansion might already know you're there. And it might be waiting to open a door just for you, a door that wasn't there a moment before. What do you think is happening inside that house? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more mysteries. Thanks for watching.